My name is Edward Gonzales, and this slide is my introduction to my presentations of resilient leaders shine despite adversity. So in week one, we learned about our self-regard and our self-awareness. We learned that it can impact our emotional status right away. It determines the level of resilience in a person/leader and that is facing any kind of adversity. It helps determine our self-worth and helps impact our social cues that can impact not only the workplace but also our daily lives. So you got to ask yourself, what is self-regard? Well, it is the consideration for oneself or one's own interests. It is also the ability to have self-respect. It's an ownership piece for the world around the individual, for their actions and their own emotions. With that, that also comes to the definition of what is self-awareness. It is the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. It can be hard to obtain, but once you do obtain it, you're stronger for it. It could come through some sort of adverse reaction or some sort of complication within inside of one's life. Understanding on how the individual is able to maintain their self-worth is also another way that they can strengthen their self-awareness. A good example of somebody that was very self-aware and also had a lot of resilience was actually our President Abraham Lincoln. He had a lot of different issues going on in his life, from depression to his death of his son. His wife had issues as well. Of course, in his professional life, he was always politically attacked and second-guessed at every turn of the coin there. But when we look back on his life and his legacy, we see that he was a very strong president and was also able to overcome a lot of these issues. One way that President Lincoln did really well with learning these attributes and these skills was by relating to his people. He saw them as more than just a person that completed a job. He saw them as somebody that he could rely on, even if he was getting second-guessed. Having understanding that their life was more than just work. It was outside, giving time for employees to process material or issues with inside their families, and showing them that he was a tool that they could use to be able to bounce back from stress or any other things that would happen in their lives. Self-awareness is actually a two-way street. Both the boss and the individual employee needs to be understanding and be able to promote their own value and their own potential. Thus is the reason why we always put the word self in front of these two skills. We need to be able to listen to what the manager is saying, and we also need to, as a manager or a leader, we need to be able to listen to our employees and see what they're saying. By having that communication piece in place, we are able to move forward with issues and be able to promote these skills even further. A great self-aware person is also very resilient. So those who are self-aware and those are in leadership roles are able to be more resilient. They're able to come back from any kind of issue that might be coming through. They're able to take criticism better. So they're able to be able to take that criticism and learn from it and take it and be able to grow upon it. They are also easier to give directions to as well, because you know that person is going to take that project or that task and run with it. As we all know, actually having a good manager role can only strengthen a team, and we work harder for those managers that are there for us. So having a strong team can rally behind an issue that might be happening. Maybe a project's not getting done correctly, or maybe a project got delayed and we've worked so hard to get it off the ground. by utilizing those aspects and being there for each other, we can do better for everyone. The leader should be tasked with being able to show the proper way to accomplish those tasks, be able to utilize our self-worth, and again, I can't stress this enough, a manager needs to be able to lead everybody to the common goal. So do you have to grow by yourself? Of course not. I mean, leaders and individuals can combine issues that are going on and be able to move forward based upon that. Actually, there's great studies that are out there that show that actually being next to somebody that is very self-aware actually helps promote the other person to be more self-aware as well, because it's a tool that they can share and they can combine and they can grow upon each other. By having a shared understanding helps create an individual and a manager to work towards a common goal for the desired result. So you're stuck in this rut, and you're not very self-aware, and you don't know how to change it. Well, it's not going to get changed by an accident. Okay, you're going to have to work really hard and change some of the things that you've been doing wrong, maybe most of your entire life. So each skill is developed and evolved into whatever you want it to be. If you want to become more self-aware, more self-evident, be more resilient, be a stronger leader or a stronger coworker, these are all things that need to be done independently and showing that you can merge with a team and merge to become a better person with inside of that team. Staying stationary and not changing or not willing to change just makes everything harder, and growth is impossible in a realm where nobody is actually wanting to change. So having that will and being able to move forward with it is very key. So we've been using the word self a lot in this presentation, and there's a lot of influences that happen in ourselves. I mean, when we look at our daily lives, I mean, it could be the person that walks down the street and waves at us that makes us feel good, or it could be the guy that cuts us off in traffic that makes us feel bad, and it can kind of spiral out of control. But with that, even though there's those external influences, there's that inner dialogue that comes into place that is always talking to you, and you're listening to it, and you're hearing it, and you're deriving how you're going to feel about yourself based upon those aspects. So the internal dialogue is huge in your influence over your self-worth. By learning to harness that inner voice and know when to listen to it and when not to listen to it, it is definitely key. Obviously, a manager can help with that inner dialogue by letting you know everything you're doing well, and also having that constructive criticism to come back to show you what you need to do better. By doing so with that, you can only improve yourself and make everything better for yourself. It's 2016. We all have stress in our lives, right? Both inside and outside of the workplace. These issues need to be managed not only by the person that is going to work, but also a manager can help out as well. By learning that these stressors can impact your self-worth and maybe your work would suffer because of it, a manager can make those small things go away, and what ends up happening when that happens is the bigger items don't seem so big. And I think we can all agree that when that actually happens, we're able to work better, more efficiently, and we're really able to pull everything that we've learned throughout our entire lives or our work history and be better for it. So in conclusion, self-awareness and self-regard are important items not only in the workplace but also a key tool in self-esteem of an individual. Having key areas addressed and having the will to continuously move forward and learning these skills and adapting and letting them evolve will not only make us good employees, good managers, but good people. We need to work together to improve those situations as well. Stop going down on each other as much and saying things that would be negative towards it, unless there's a constructive criticism. I mean, you don't want to tell somebody you're bad at your job because you just completely suck at it. You want to go back and be like, these are the issues that you need to resolve. You need to be on time. You need to be more productive, and these are how you're going to be successful in this position, and that's how we make ourselves work really well, and it can work in our everyday lives as well when we're at home. Being constructive with our wives and our children, letting them know, yes, we did make a mistake here, but this is how we fix it. And by showing that, that promotes their own self-awareness, so that way in the future we're all going to have very good self-esteem, we're going to be self-regarded, and we're also going to be very self-aware. Thank you for watching this presentation.